Hello, this is Julie Candler with the BBC News. The 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council have issued a rare joint statement pledging to prevent the spread of atomic weapons and ensure a nuclear war is never fought. The 5, China, France, Russia, the UK and the United States, all possess nuclear weapons and will be part of a major review of a key international nuclear treaty later this year. Steve Jackson reports.
The 5 permanent members of the Security Council are themselves all nuclear powers and are at the centre of some major political tensions. The United States sees both Russia and China as a growing threat. So this joint statement on nuclear conflict is both unusual and likely to be widely welcomed. In it, the 5 powers agree that a nuclear war cannot be won and must never be fought. Russia said it hoped the statement would reduce international tensions. China said it would increase mutual trust and create a balanced relationship between the major powers.
Firefighters in South Africa say a blaze that devastated the Houses of Parliament in Cape Town on Sunday has restarted. The fire service had earlier said that the flames had been brought under control. The BBC's Mohammed Ali is in Cape Town.
Apparently yesterday, the temperatures when the fire was raging were as high as 400 degrees Celsius, and today even it was down to 100 degrees Celsius. So they attribute the re-emergence of the fire to those high temperatures. In fact, I understand they've also been using a drone to try and assess the damage because, according to Patricia de Lille, who is the Minister of Public Works, who's responsible for the Houses of Parliament as part of a portfolio, they've brought in engineers of various kinds to try and assess the damage and to present a preliminary report by Friday.
The Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been admitted to a hospital in São Paulo, where he's receiving treatment for an abdominal problem. He was hospitalized in July, also with an intestinal obstruction, but was able to recover without surgery. Camila Mota reports.
Mr. Bolsonaro cut short his holiday in the southern state of Santa Catarina after feeling unwell. He was taken by presidential plane to a private hospital in São Paulo in the early hours of the morning and is waiting for his doctors to decide whether he needs surgery. The medical staff said he's stable and undergoing treatment. The president has faced several health problems since he was stabbed during the election campaign in 2018. He's had abdominal surgery at least 4 times since then.
The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said he will visit Saudi Arabia next month on his first trip there since the murder of the Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Relations between the two countries worsened after Mr. Khashoggi's killing in the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. In recent months, there have been efforts to repair relations between the two powers. World News from the BBC. More than a dozen people have been arrested in Cambodia during a strike at the country's biggest casino. For more than 2 weeks, workers and former employees have been protesting outside Naga World's hotel and gambling complex in Phnom Penh. They say laid-off employees were not given proper severance pay. Nearly 3,000 passengers and crew have started disembarking from a cruise ship docked in Lisbon after their trip was cut short by a COVID outbreak. The Ada Nova was en route to the island of Madeira for New Year's Eve celebrations when it was forced to dock in the Portuguese capital after 52 crew tested positive. The authorities in Mauritius say airport staff have found a newborn baby boy abandoned in a rubbish bin in the toilet on a plane. They say the discovery was made on board an Air Mauritius jet when it landed on New Year's Day following a flight from Madagascar. A 20-year-old woman from that country, suspected of having given birth on the flight, was arrested. Police in Cyprus are investigating after a famous sculpture of a giant potato was cut down by vandals. Justine Green takes up the story.
The 4-metre-high replica of the spunta potato, a local variety, made headlines when it was installed in October and has quickly become a popular spot for selfies. Unfortunately, the statue, nicknamed the Big Potato, didn't stay up for long. The giant spud was created by community leader George Tassu, who says he was at the site until the early hours of New Year's Day and had asked someone else to guard it when he left. Police believe it was attacked after revellers had seen in the new year.
After months of negotiations, David Bowie's estate has sold the singer's entire catalogue of songs to the Warner Music Group. The amount is reported to be upwards of $250 million. David Bowie, who had hits spanning 6 decades, including Heroes and Let's Dance, died in January 2016. BBC News.